Hello and welcome. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Andrew, and we're brothers, and this is the Daniel and Andrew Show.
Where we give our opinions about movies and TV and movies with ladies that kick ice. So, Andrew, how you doing today?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing all right. Did you do anything fun this week?
Um, no, I've been very busy, but just like more things I have to do than that I want to do. So,
Looking at apartments, right?
yeah.
Find anything you look interesting?
I mean, I wouldn't say it like that, but sure. Yeah.
Okay. In the big city down there,
Uh-huh.
Salt Lake there. All right, cool. It's the summer, so it's been kind of slow on the old shift front in restaurants in Arizona because it's 1,000 degrees and all the snowbirds are gone. So that's a bummer.
Okay.
Um, but the company that I use a company for like gigs, and that company has like morphed with another company. They're like merging, so there's like more shifts, but like, I don't really love how the interface is set up. Um, but whatever. Um, but yeah, nothing really exciting happening otherwise. I worked at a baseball game, and I think that's the first baseball game I've been to as an adult. So that was kind of interesting. Um, I was like on the far side, all the way from the plate up in one of the restaurants, and like you'd like they'd hit the ball, and then you'd hear like the clack noise like after the fact because like the sound is slower than the visual. It's kind of interesting hearing like the like after the fact. I don't know. It was kind of fun. Yeah, and it was at the Chase Field. The Diamondbacks won, so that was cool. Apparently, they were on a quite the losing streak, so good thing they won that game. Yeah, so that's kind of fun. All right. Uh, I didn't watch anything. I don't think other than the movie we're gonna talk about. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't had any time to watch anything. So,
Um. Yeah. I mean, we tried a video game. What's the one called? Revenge of the Savage Planet. We played that. I thought it was
yeah.
fine. I mean, it was fun enough. I mean, we played
Yeah.
the first one and we liked it. So, and it's a co-op game.
I'd probably be more interested in playing Split Fiction if we ever play something again. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's how I feel about
Yeah.
that game.
All right. Cool. So, okay on it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, let's get into some news then. Um, so after 2 short years, Warner Brothers and Discovery are splitting and becoming two different companies after their massive buy of Warner Brothers. Discovery becoming one company. They
Hmm.
are going to split.
Wow.
Um, so so basically the movie like and like the franchises like DC, Warner Brothers studios and everything, that's pretty much going to be its own thing. So like the content company, um, and like a couple of the like streaming thing and everything, that would be its own thing. It's probably why it's going to be HBO Max. It's probably why people were like, why is it going back to HBO Max? And that's probably why. Um, because they went from Max back to HBO Max, and that's probably why, because they're splitting off. And then Discovery will be like CNN and like news stuff and other. kind of thing. So kind of splitting, not exactly the same, but pretty similar split. Um, so yeah, so that was a short legacy of that company there. But they're probably going to try to sell Warner Brothers, um, and that's what people were talking about anyway. Like they thought it was just going to be sold off, scrap for parts before. So they'll probably just try to sell Warner Brothers, um, and then instead of becoming a big conglomerate, probably just get absorbed, um, kind of like Fox did. Um, but yeah, so that's the rumor anyway. Um, yeah, so we'll see how that goes. See if Warner Brothers cease to exist soon, or they're gonna continue to go back to doing the thing. Um, see how Superman does. Hopefully,
Yeah, it would be kind of funny if they get their universe off the ground and they're like, time to sell.
yeah,
And they
yeah,
gotta like redo everything all over again.
yeah. We'll see what happens. I mean, if it's a success and they sell the company, I mean, they probably just keep it going. And then if it's a success and they don't sell the company, then it's a success. So I mean, I would assume I doubt they would be a success and then they scrap it anyway. I don't see that happening if
Yeah,
something is successful anyway.
yeah, true.
Because companies, the only thing they want is money, right? And to make the money. So yeah, um, yeah, right. So that was Warner Brothers, and now let's talk about Disney. Um, they found somebody to be in the next Star Wars movie with Ryan Gosling, Sean Levy directing. I think it's called Starfighter, I believe is what the movie is called. And they found Mia Goth, um, who was in the three X Pearl and Maxine trilogy. She's the lead in those movies, or like horror movies or whatever. Um,
Yeah, I don't know what that
yeah,
is.
yeah, whatever. But yeah,
Okay.
so I believe, I, um, I'm not sure if she was a villain or not. I can't remember what the role is, but this is the role that they offered to Mikey Madison, and she turned it down. Apparently, lots of people turned down roles in this. But Mia Goth was like, "I'll take it." So yeah, so we'll see how that goes. So yeah, I want to say it was a villain character if I remember correctly.
You're saying the
Um,
role in Star Wars is a villain character?
yeah, I
Okay.
want to say it was a villain. Okay, so Gosling's character, he protects a young charge from Goth's character and her pursuers. Yeah, so right. So she's going to be a villain. So it was going to be a young lady villain, you know, uh, against g- chasing after. Um, so I would assume that it's not going to be Jedi based, but I mean the young person could be force sensitive. I wouldn't be surprised,
Okay,
but
yeah.
we'll see what
So
happens.
yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
They've given like little tidbits about it, but they haven't given a lot. Um, but I mean, director did Deadpool and Wolverine. He did Free Guy. He's pretty good director, and I like Ryan Gosling. Mia Goth is a nothing burger for me, and you don't even know who it is. So
Yep.
um, yeah. Uh, let's see. Yeah, I don't think I don't think she's been in anything else that you would recognize. Yeah, she was in those three movies. Yeah, no, you haven't. Yeah, she's been in all like horror and like indie movies and stuff. So yeah, so we'll see how that works out. It's okay. All right, so um, I that was all the news that I had. The One of the trailers is like a quasi news story and half a trailer. Um, so
Okay.
um, yeah,
Which one is that? I guess start there.
it would be Spaceballs 2. Um, so we got that. It was so it's gonna come out in 2027. Um, we had the first one came out in 87, so it'll be 40 years. Um, they did a crawl, like a Star Wars esque crawl, where and it's just basically a big long joke um, using the crawl. And yeah, and at the end, Mel Brooks is like, "Hey, we're making another one! Hooray!"
Yep, pretty much.
Um,
Hmm.
I think we knew. I think we've talked about this before. I think we did know that this was in development. Josh Gad being one of the writers. Um, so uh, Mel Brooks will return as Yogurt. We will have Bill. Bill Pullman will return. He was Lone Star in the original, and Rick Moranis is coming out of retirement. So his first movie in like 30 years to become back as Dark Helmet. And we have a couple new cast members in Bill Pullman's son, Lewis Pullman, who was just in the Thunderbolts as Sentry, and Kiki Palmer. So this movie is for Amazon MGM, but it said it was in theaters, so I would assume it's just be under the MGM banner or whatever. So we'll have that nice lion in the front of it there. Um, for me, I'm excited. I like Spaceballs quite a bit. The only thing that worries me is Mel Brooks is like 90 years old. Um, but I mean, he didn't write it, but uh, 2027 is a couple years away, but he is quite old. So I'm a little worried about that. But because I mean, I want to be in him to be in there, but John Candy, who is Barf, and Joan Rivers, who is the robot, they've both passed away, so um, they need some fresh people in there. I like
Yeah.
Kiki Palmer and I like Lewis Pullman, so but I'm excited about this movie. What do you think?
Um, I do think they have plenty of material to rip. That's for sure. In terms of, I mean, it's just a spoof movie, pretty much, right? So there's plenty of to go through. Um, I would need to see a trailer before I like make a real decision, but I don't know. I'm on the fence on this one. A lot of these sequel comedies, um, they could just be bad, and then we'll see. But I think it,
Yeah,
I think it
go
has
ahead.
enough of the old regime to still be
Mm-hmm.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I, yeah, I mean, I think having Mel Brooks on board, I think I mean, I'm sure that he had to give his okay saying, yeah, this is good. So I'm assuming that it's good enough. Also, yeah, they have to a lot of material because they only had the originals to make fun of. Now they have six more movies plus and other stuff. I don't know if they're gonna just stick with just sci-fi stuff and Dune and all the other things that they could make fun of. But I think it could be good. Um, I like, yeah, I like that they're bringing back the people. I think Rick Moranis coming out of retirement is a good sign because he probably read the script, I would assume. If he's willing to come out of retirement to make that, like, because I'm sure there's been other offers to do like Honey I Shrunk the Kids #4 or whatever, and he had never came out of retirement. Or Ghostbusters, there's two Ghostbusters movies he didn't come out of retirement, two different like things he could have, but he didn't. So I have a feeling that he read the script and thought it was good. So that gives me hope, um, but also I just want it to be good. So, but that also gives me the inkling that maybe what's it called? Naked Gun might be good if they're like going ahead with this, because maybe they're going, oh, okay, well that's good, so maybe it'll do well. Who knows?
I see what you're
Um,
saying. I
well, then
guess I don't know.
I mean they're also bringing back Scary Movie, so like I don't know if they're like these things have rumblings of being good, so they're trying to work, or they're just throwing out trying to throw things out.
Or they're just like looking at Disney remaking everything that has ever been made. But they're like, oh, we can do that with our properties.
Yeah, well, How to Train Your Dragon's coming out, so in literally a couple days. So
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's true. I wonder if they'll be able to do some merchandise, because that was the thing of the first one. They could only make the movie if there was no merchandising. But George Lucas isn't in the picture anymore, so I wonder if they will. Cool.
Yeah.
There's even a joke in Spaceballs. It's just Spaceballs 2: The Search for More Money. Um, so
Nice.
we'll see how that goes. All right. Well, let's talk about our trailers here. Hop on the trailer train here. Talk about another Amazon venture with Kiki Palmer, with The Pickup. So was Eddie Murphy and Pete Davidson are the leads, I would say, of this movie. Comedy. What'd you think?
Um, Even with Eddie Murphy's last projects, I'm like, this is what you came out of retirement for? Still with the previous ones and this one? It's just like, I mean, I guess you needed a paycheck or something because this looks pretty mildly bland kind of comedy. I'm not saying there's like zero enjoyment in it, but it's a pretty low bar. Um I don't know. I just kind of expected more from him, and everything he's done has just been sad.
Mm,
Um,
yeah, generic to bad. Um, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I yeah, I wouldn't say this far surpasses anything recent, but it looks like I probably have a good time. There's a lot of the stuff recently that he's made that I haven't even watched, or I was didn't like. Um, I mean, yeah, like Beverly Hills Cop, Coming to America. I didn't watch the one with Jonah Hill. Um,
I did, and you didn't miss anything.
yeah, there is a lot of he's made other things too, I think. Um, but yeah, and I didn't even watch. I don't know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
That's
think
the
you.
only thing
I
that
think
makes sense. He needs a paycheck. That's
yeah,
literally the only thing
right.
that
Well,
makes sense to me.
from what I understand, he has like 80 kids, so got to pay for them
Gotcha.
somehow. Um, yeah, I mean, I think you pretty much nailed it. Um, my feelings as well.
Yeah.
All right. Um, what else? Let's talk about let's talk about. Let's go. Let's continue with our comedies here. We'll go with Freakier Friday. So we got our like full trailer, I would say, basically our plot trailer here. So we do indeed have all four of them. The two originals, well, two from the, you know, Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan switching with the two teenage girls. So it's a four-way switch instead of a two-way switch of switching bodies. What'd you think?
I'm even more uninterested than I was before. Um, it just, I mean, it just looks like the same thing, right? But for some reason, there's two other little girls. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. It just looks goofy and doesn't look bad. It's just
Yeah,
this doesn't appeal to me in any way. So
yeah. Mm. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I mean, I'm into it. I like seeing we talked about this before. I like seeing Lindsay Lohan just being like
yeah, I
normal,
think you got some
and
like nostalgia
I do,
glasses
I do.
on this one, and
That's from our time, man.
it's
I
just
think if they,
very clear to me. There's no nostalgia there. I'm not interested.
I think if they made another Princess Diaries, I think I'd be in for that. So like
Hmm.
that's the same kind of like time frame, So I think
Yeah,
I'm in, I'm into it. So it
I would
works for me.
honestly be more interested in that one than this one.
Well, like Lilo and Stitch is like the same time too, and I felt nothing for that. But that's just because I wasn't like a fan. I guess I'm just a fan of the this movie, the original one. So maybe I'm into it. Um, yeah, I understand how you feel that way though. Um, so that was our freakier Friday there. Uh, let's talk about some musicals. Let's talk about Kiss of the Spider Woman. So this has Jennifer Lopez and Diego Luna. Um, is a remake of a movie from the 80s, I want to say, and there's also a musical as well, Broadway musical.
Yep. Not interested. Pass.
Um, yeah, this one it just looks like just on a soundstage the whole time, like a classic musical, like a movie musical was. Um, yeah, and J Lo doesn't do it for me. And I know that's the selling point of this movie, but I don't. She's not even the lead. There's the two guys. Like the one is like who is relatively unknown. I believe he is the lead of the thing, and he's in it the least because he's the lead, the unknown in this.
To be
Um,
honest, I didn't even know there was a third person. I thought it was just Diego.
I believe that third guy is the lead, and in the original movie, um, if I'm correct, I think in the original movie, William Hurt played that character, and he won an Oscar for Best Lead Actor in that for his role in that. I believe that is the character that guy is playing. So it's a little bit of a bait and switch, and J Lo's just trying to use her name to sell it. And I'm sure she produced it and is definitely starring in it. So, um,
Yeah, I don't think that's a
yeah,
bad idea in terms of marketing it. The movie itself doesn't look appealing to me personally, but
yeah, I think it looks okay. I think it looks okay. Yeah, I've never heard anyone go, "Oh my god, I love Kiss of the Spider Woman. My favorite musical."
yeah,
No one's ever
I
said that. Yeah,
quite literally never even heard of
never
this.
heard of it. Yeah, yeah, I know. It's definitely a deep cut. Um, I don't know. We'll see how that does. That is curious. I mean, the director is good. Dreamgirls and um, something else. I can't remember off the top of my head. He's a good director. So we'll see. All right. Well, here's the other musical, Wicked for Good. So our part two there. of our wicked. What do you call it when it's two? Duology, I think is what they call it.
I've got no idea.
I think that's what they call it. Whatever, the two wicked movies, the second half here. Um, I think it looks pretty good. What do you think?
I don't want to be mean. I don't know. Kind of a mixed bag for me. I don't even know what the plot is at this point. What I guess they're chasing her. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want. There's
Don't
the
spoil
second.
anything from me, but
Yeah, the second half is like kind of pivotal. I mean, we know that they're friends, right? So like, yeah, they're chasing her. I mean, obviously she's getting stronger because she has the book. You know, she's learning,
yeah.
and the second half of the musical it gets into um the Wizard of Oz. So we're
Okay.
going to have those characters and things like that. Um, I will say that I I would assume just like the first movie, the first trailer showed her riding that broom. That was the closing shot. I would assume we're gonna have the same thing at the end of the second movie. I believe that is the closing shot of the film as well. Um, so
Are you telling me there's going to be a part three or something? I'm
I
confused.
don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know if
Uh,
they're gonna add on or not. We'll see how it works. But I
don't
feel
do a
like
part three. Don't do
yeah,
it. I.
yeah,
You are milking that tree if you do a
yeah.
part three.
We'll see what happens. I'm gonna say maybe, but probably not. I would assume it's probably gonna be this. We'll see what happens, but maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know.
Well, you know
For
it
some
better
reason,
than I, so I would
I
take
would
your word
say
for it.
I mean, yeah, I would say the first half is a better complete story, and if they're going to do a complete story with the second one, that I just think I hope they don't do make it 3 hours again. I'm hoping this is like a 2 hour movie because I believe like the first act in the musical is longer than the second act. The second act actually goes pretty quick. But they're definitely extending. There looks like there's a wedding that's definitely not in the musical. So they're definitely adding things in. And they're one. I'm gonna assume that's where Ariana's song will be because they've added a new song for um, Cynthia and they've added a new song for Ariana. So I'm gonna assume that's where her song will be. Um, I'm definitely interested. Uh, I think Wicked's pretty good musical, and this trailer already tells me that they've been listening to their audience because a lot of people that I've watched didn't like the movie or like a criticism I heard a lot was the color of like the color tint of the movie was like kind of muted. And in this trailer, I already felt like it was more vibrant colors. I don't know what you think or not. Like it
I
just
didn't even notice. So
if you watch like a trailer, if you watch like a trailer for the first one, and you watch this, there's definitely a difference. I think they're
I,
listening.
I guess. I mean, I thought it was pretty colorful in the first one, but I guess I'm
Yeah,
crazy.
but it was kind of like maybe oversaturated. Like it was just like
I
pat
see what you're
like
saying.
yeah.
I don't remember. I guess.
I don't know. This one looks more like rich. The colors look richer. They're not as like you know. So I think they are listening to their audience, which is good. Um, I'm interested. I'm definitely be watching, of course. So we'll see how that goes. All right, I left this one for last because I thought this one was intriguing. It was already intriguing with who was the leads for me, but it actually seeing the trailer definitely intrigues me more. Um, a big, bold, beautiful journey with Colin Farrell and Margot Robbie. Now, I knew that they were making this movie. This director has been kind of like an indie darling. director, and yeah, this is his first movie with like big stars in it. Um, so the premise is that these people meet by accident, I guess, and then they kind of like each other or whatever, and then the world kind of brings them together, and then they're going through these doors that show them like pivotal points in their lives, I guess, and they're learning stuff about themselves. I would say this is something I definitely say go check out the trailer for it if you haven't, because this is an interesting premise, a premise that I believe that I've kind of seen before, but I'm interested in. I think this looks good. Um, what'd you think?
Um, I haven't been interested in a romance movie in a really long time. And I would say that this hit the bar. It does look like something different, but still kind of samey. It's kind of giving me um, like Time Traveler's Wife and like Benjamin Button kind of vibes. Um, it was good. I would want to see this one based off this trailer. I probably wouldn't even watch another trailer of this one. I've seen. I like the
Yeah,
idea,
yeah,
and I think they both have like the chops to pull it off. And it's so just as long as the story is good, I think you'll have a solid romance movie here. Um,
yeah.
uh,
I
and for me, it
yeah,
kind of lives or dies on the ending. I get really peeved about endings in romance movies, so we'll see what they do. But that's also like kind of the fun of seeing the movie. So
yeah. This is definitely a movie I do not want to see any more trailers. I want to just experience the movie. I mean, that's how I kind of feel with Wicked, because I remember last time they showed everything in the second trailer, and that's why I've kind of tried to stop showing like what like showing like us talking about it, because I don't want to watch second trailers.
yeah, there was another
Um,
Superman trailer, and I didn't watch
yeah,
it, but
I didn't watch
from
it.
like the very short snippets I've seen of
Yeah,
just like advertising for it, it was like, man, they showed a lot. So,
yeah. Well, that they need that to do well. They need
mhm.
to do well. They are pumping that directly into your eyeballs. They want it to do well. They want it to be in your mind, even if it's not. You're not watching it. They want it to be in your mind so you talk about it with somebody. They want it on people's minds. So they're pumping that like crazy. They're doing like they usually do a final trailer like the week before a movie comes out, and they're putting out the final trailer a month before, and they're doing TV spots. They're putting them on every talk show. Um, yeah, you will be seeing
Mhm.
Corin Sweat and Nicholas Holt and Rachel Brosnahan so much. They're pushing that. They want that to do well. They need it to do well. Otherwise, it's dead. So they need it to do well. I'm worried that the movie is it needs to be fun and good. And I'm worried about the second part there. 'Cause I still think it looks convoluted and whatever. And yeah, I've seen little bits, but I didn't watch it because I don't. I've seen more than enough. Um, so um, yeah, and then that comes out in a couple weeks, so we'll see it and we'll talk about it when that comes out. All right. Well, that was all the trailers that we had. Um, so we're ready to get into our review. Um, so this week we're going to be talking about Ballerina. So this is a John Wick spin-off movie. What'd you think?
um, I thought it was pretty good. I don't think it was good. It's not. as good as the other ones, but it was good. I almost want to say kind of like a Furiosa. Like Furiosa wasn't bad, but it wasn't like the greatest, but it still had the same vibe. I don't know. I don't know what you are feeling on it, but I thought it was good overall. I liked the story and the action was good, even though I felt like it was really over the top at parts. Um, what'd you think?
I liked it. So here's the thing with John Wick is like most of the time the story is really who cares, and then it's about the action. Now in this movie, I think the back 30 minutes are some of the best stuff we've seen in a John Wick movie. Um, there's some set pieces with weapons that is good, and I think is totally worth seeing. I saw this movie twice. Um, and the first time I saw it, I was invested the whole time. I wasn't like checking my phone, seeing what time it was, whatever. I will say the second time I was a little more, but also I saw it with dad the second time and he was kind of bored for parts of it. So I think he was just like him getting antsy in like the middle section, I think took me out of it. But I still think I like this movie. I thought it was pretty good. Um, I think she does a good job. Ana de Armas. People were worried about that. Um, I know that this movie was basically half of the movie was like reshot, and I think they moved things around and kind of added things here and there to try to like stitch it together better. Um, I'd be worried. I can't imagine what the original cut of this movie was because I thought the movie was decent, um, but it had the John Wick enough John Wick stuff for me to keep it. Now I like the Continental and that whole thing. I like the world, and some people are it's just about Keanu Reeves and they don't care about the world, but I like all of it. I mean, I went to do the thing in Vegas. I like the whole world and the hotel and the the people that gives them the guns and blah blah blah. I like all that and the giving the chip and this is my favor or whatever and all that stuff. I like all that crap. So, and they have like a code. I like all that stuff. So it's kind of works for me. I like same thing with like the Kingsman. I like the whole world and things like that. So it works for me. Um, but yeah, I think she did a good job. I liked seeing Norman Reedus. I liked seeing Daryl from The Walking Dead. Um, I thought the villain was fine, but he also still had a unique code of you know their code that he lives by. So I liked that. Like I like it was like they were just like a little bit better than generic. Um, but and then obviously it's in the trailers. We know we get John Wick in it, and there's enough John Wick in it to my liking. Um, so yeah. Um, for me, I'm at like seven, 7.5, something like that.
I'm probably at a 7 as well. Um, I don't know. I really wanted to like it more, but I don't know. Maybe it is that it's missing Keanu. I don't know what it was. I can't really like pinpoint where my disappointment lies because I didn't dislike her. I like what how they like trained her.
Mm-hmm.
I She wasn't just like automatically really good, I felt like. And they kind of even had like her beginning training and a middle training and then she got even better. But yeah, I don't know. I I can't. I They had a pretty big budget. They must have. It looked like it. I don't. They probably gave it too much budget, honestly, and it should have been a smaller thing because I don't. I really doubt this movie is going to make that much money. Um,
So I think that the budget was high because they had to reshoot basically half the movie. I think that was the problem. I mean, it was made for like 90 million. It was probably made for like 50 million, but then they had to like reshoot the whole thing. So they brought in Chad Stahelski and stuff like that. I I think the movie came out pretty good, to be honest. I mean, I liked it. Uh, yeah. For I did. So I did my ranking, and I have this above three, but it's three this, one, four, two. Um,
so two's your best, is what you're saying?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I do really like two. I like that whole like scene where they're underground and it's all just like one shot.
Hmm.
I don't know. Yeah.
He has like the train fight with Common, and I think like they set up the world really well in the second one, but it doesn't go so stupid. Like in the third one is like all about the world, but then it's like ridiculous, and then they having the whole fight. It's just like, and it was just like nonstop. Like there was like no, like I like that there's a lot of action in it because the story's usually dull, but there's just like it's just action, 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 and I think the fourth one kind of mixed two two and three together where there was a good amount of action and the story was decent, but I think I like the second one. You know, if the fourth one had come out instead of, I probably it would probably be swapped, but I don't know. And then there's a weird stuff at the end of four that I'm not like particularly thrilled about. So yeah. um yeah.
I don't know if I'd put this above any of them, to be honest. Um,
I just remember watching three and being like, ugh, afterwards. It's like, all right, I'm
it
I'm
was long. I really
I'm full.
liked the um what's her name? Catwoman. I
Yeah,
liked
Halle
that
Berry.
scene. I
Halle
liked
Berry
her
is
and I liked the dogs. They really incorporated the dogs in the
yeah,
action
but
in
that's
that
the
one.
highlight. That's the highlight of that movie.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember more of it. I will. I don't know. I like it.
I like the highlight in this movie more than I like the dogs and Halle Berry, which we can talk about because I think it's time to get into spoilers here.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Spoilers. Yeah.
all right, let's get into spoilers. All right, I like the flamethrower.
I know.
That
Yeah.
shot where they're in like the dark tunnel and then you just like see the little bit of fire and then they're like, oh crap. They all just like and they're all slow motion. That
Yeah.
was sick.
This is also what I meant when it was a bit too over the top for me.
I
It does
like the
look.
over the
It
top.
does look good. It's very cinematic,
Yeah.
and I think the tunnel one is good. That's the first time you see it, and then
Yeah.
she roasts like 50 billion more
Worked.
people,
It worked every time she
and
roasted somebody.
and then it's like him and this random guy are just like, you shoot, I shoot, you shoot, I shoot. It's just like
Mm,
it's not how it would work, but
mm,
it still looks cool, and I know what they were going for.
yeah.
But
It worked for me the whole time.
yeah, and then they don't give her a bulletproof suit, so she sustains a serious amount of injuries, and I know John Wick does as well. But she gets stabbed a bunch, and she gets grenaded once, and then she goes and continues and kills everyone.
The
So
grenade thing, yeah. I don't remember the stabbing.
she gets stabbed earlier in the thing, but she even gets slashed a couple. I guess it never slashed her actual back there, But yeah, I
I would,
also
yeah,
I also like
I
how her and John Wick fight in the movie, and she doesn't win by any means,
yeah,
which is if it was done any differently, like she did something to get the upper hand, I would have been upset. You know, nobody gets to beat John Wick. I'm sorry.
yeah.
So
We can't beat the god because he is a god. He's not a
yeah,
human.
yeah,
Um,
he's
he
not.
would have been
Yeah,
dead. So yeah, yeah. I didn't know Keanu had the Rock's contract in these movies, but
yeah.
um,
I doubt he
yeah,
has that contract, but
he doesn't.
yeah,
He doesn't. But I think it is funny. I did like that. They're correct. I mean, I thought the choices, I thought all the choices were correct. I didn't mind the little backstory, even though it is boring for me personally. Yeah, I think once you get at, I think once you're in the village and stuff, I think it all works. And I like the scene where they're in this like frozen club, like below zero club or whatever, and they like got ice everywhere, and I
yeah.
liked all that.
That was
I
like her
like her
mid
fighting there.
training sequence. There is what I like.
Yeah, I like that. I like the using the non lethal bullets, and then she's like shooting them in the face, and I'm like, ow, or shooting them in the leg, and they're like, ow. Like, I like all that
Mhm.
stuff. I think that stuff is fun. I like the ingenuity and uniqueness of the John Wick stunt team people, the development of these movies. I think are fun in that way. Um, yeah, and I liked her fighting in like the cabin restaurant or whatever cafe thing. I liked that. Those fights were fun. I liked it when they're fighting in like a boathouse, but the water has frozen or whatever, and then she's killing people with ice skates. A lot of that. So
Yeah.
you had a lot of ice stuff, and then you had the fire flamethrower.
Yeah. My complaints with the action, which I will say is still really good action, but when you see Kiana do it, it's all continuous one shot. And when they change a location, the camera is only moving from here and it just slowly moves to like a wider shot of some other area where he's fighting. So it's all like continuous, even though it's probably a little movie magic plus that. But with her, it's choppy. Like you get one scene, she roasts some people, then it cuts to something else, and then we're in the next scene. It's not all done in one continuous thing. And I like the continuous wide shots of just pure action. And I know they're doing everything all at once, and the choreography is really good. She just still did really good in all the shots. It's just not that level. I don't know how else to put it.
I think also having you had a different director in this, and that's a different style. And I know Chad Stahelski is like just all showing it. I mean, obviously we've gotten four movies except for the first one that was like co-directed, but we pretend like he didn't actually direct that co-direct David Leitch. But um, so yeah, you have it has a style, but they also try to keep in the style but also kind of make it their own in this. um oh, and I forgot about the her fighting with grenades. That was sick.
Yeah, that was cool,
uh
and it was also very one shot. That was actually a good scene because I liked. She'd go behind a corner and the camera's following
yeah,
her, and she's tossing it behind the door, and you see it explode, and then she
yeah,
tosses it through the door, and then she closes the door. Like you see the movement, and it's not choppy.
they did that one, and then also I think when they're fighting in like the cafe cabin
The
place
cafe
they did
was
that
good
too.
too. Yeah, and
Yeah,
then the lady gets like locked in the freezer. That was
yeah,
also good. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I thought the stuff was good. I thought it had enough of it in here. I think it checked all the boxes. Um, even with plot
Yeah.
being mediocre, it checked all the boxes. So for a
I
John
didn't
Wick
think
movie,
the plot was. I liked kind of seeing her whole life. I didn't mind that. I could see how you found it a little boring, but
Well,
I liked it. I didn't
I'm
really like
I-
the father bit, to be honest.
I'm not the plot police. I like character is my number one, and I thought all the
That's
characters were
true.
good
That's
and
true.
warranted. Other than her being her sister was a nothing burger because they kill her
Oh yeah,
immediately.
that shouldn't even.
But that's
I
also plot. So
I think it was like a rewrite. I think she was probably in it more
I think
originally.
they added that in because
No.
from what I understand, I believe that the a lot of the origin was parts that they added to this movie.
Okay, okay.
So I think that might have been something that they added in, and then they're like, "Why are we talking about a sister?" Kind of thing. I think they just kind of like, yeah.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah,
yeah. I'm just trying to
I don't
justify
know.
why I don't think it ranks as high as the other ones. But I can see your point of view. So,
Like I can barely even remember what the third movie is about, like what the plot of this is. But they're you could almost say they're even. I mean,
yeah,
um,
that's fine. Yeah.
um, yeah. So, but I thought this movie was good overall. Um, uh, but I have no hankering to watch any John Wick movie again. Um, and I saw this twice, so I think I'm good. Um,
I will watch John Wick's until I die. So, if you
mm,
still make
mm.
them, I'll still watch them.
We'll see. We'll see if we get any more spin-off movies. Oh, they're doing the one with the guy in the last one. Oh my god,
Um,
what's his name?
It Man.
That
Um,
doesn't help. Oh, Donnie Yen.
Donnie Yen. Yeah.
Donnie Yen. I believe they're still making that movie. So we'll see how that goes.
I think it needs to be passed down. Well, think it needs to be passed down to a man for one. I don't want to die on that hill, but
I think that there is people that feel that way, and I don't think you were willing to see this movie. There's people that would go, "Wow, it's not a guy, so I'm not interested." Period. Um, which is a bummer because I think she does a pretty good job. And I don't think that the whole time it's just a stunt double doing it. I think she's definitely did some
I'm
of
not
it.
even. Yeah, I'm not even complaining about her performance. I just, it's kind of Hollywood's fault. They just kind of messed up woman led action things, whether that be from TV to movies, um, with the whole kind of girl bossing movement. But I'm not saying they can't be done well, but they almost have like a stigma around them to where if you stick woman into a male led franchise and they're like, now it's a woman, it creates problems. And just off of that, the movie's not going to do as well as the counterpart. And that is sad because I'm not against seeing a woman led action film. I love Salt, and I know nobody likes that movie other than me. I mean, I like
You
Tomb
like
Raider. I
Angelina
guess that's just
Jolie,
Angelina Jolie on
Angelina
screen.
Jolie,
Yeah, I'm trying to think of
anything
like
that's not Angelina Jolie that you like.
I've seen other ones. I'm
Don't
trying
get
to
me
think of
wrong,
them.
I like Angelina Jolie, but
Um, I even liked Furiosa, but it's almost like another male female swap. But I think Marvel's kind of degraded them. It's just I wish they didn't because I do like these movies. But I
well,
think just having a male lead will help its sales and it'll help it keep it alive.
I like Alien. Uh, I liked Prey. Was good.
Prey was
Uh,
good. Yeah.
and I liked Amber Mid Thunder in there. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of like Hunger Games. Yeah, I
Yeah, I don't even really consider that action. I mean, it is, but
I
it's more
mean, there's a
drama.
lot of action. Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
see all of them? Because I saw all of them,
I
and I don't think those last ones are very actiony.
I know. I saw the first one and I went, "This movie's bad. I'm not
Okay, well,
interested."
I can tell you the rest are way more drama-y.
The first Hunger Games is the first movie I actively remember going, "Wow, I do not like this movie," and critiquing that movie. That was the first movie that I remember, and that's just the book. I mean, I believe that that is pretty faithful. That first movie is pretty faithful to the book. Like the ending, I thought the ending of that movie that is stupid.
Yeah, I thought that was
So
the
yeah.
best one, and it wasn't that good. So,
Oh, that's rough because I did not like it.
yeah, I've
I
seen
just don't.
all
I
of
don't like.
them, and
I
yeah,
don't like the concept. I don't like the concept of the Hunger Games. I did, and I watched the sequel reboot, whatever the hell,
yeah,
that movie with Rachel Zegler or whatever, and they're
yeah.
doing another one, another prequel with other, so, whatever. I don't care. Um, yeah, I don't care who the lead is, if it's a male or female. I don't care. I just want it to be good, and I don't think this was. If this was phenomenal, uh, I think it would make a bigger splash. But it's just, I think it does its job, and it does it. It's good enough, but good enough is not good enough.
Yeah, I think it's good. I don't think it's. I don't know what they made it for, but I don't think they're. Are they gonna like double what they made it for? I doubt it.
No,
So they're not gonna
no,
make any money, and we're not gonna see another one. So it's just kind of sad.
not another spin-off, but not another like, never not another ballerina. Um,
Yeah, I'm saying. I'm sure we've already talked about on this channel that there's another John Wick coming. I'm pretty sure.
Another John Wick. They're full in on John Wick. Another John Wick. The thing with
I don't know if we're gonna
Johnny
see
Yen.
another ballerina. I think they
No, I
should have
don't think
treated
so.
it like the first John Wick, made it for like nothing, and then you would have had more return, and then there would have been a reason.
Yeah,
I think they treated this like, oh, we can still do full budget John Wick and get away with it. No, you should have went back to the basics and made money off of it, and we would have saw another ballerina too.
that. Well, someone should have talked to you, Andrew, and so.
Yeah, I got
Oh well.
thoughts on it. I got thoughts
All
on it.
right, you got notes.
Yeah,
Well, you'll have to save that for 20 years from now, when maybe they'll make another one.
yeah.
Um,
I doubt it.
so yeah, probably not. Oh
I
well.
I I think you should start with this next one. Have a John Wick successor, and if you're gonna do another John Wick, if you want to continue doing more after, Keanu's getting too old. Even though I
You
love him, and
Are you
he's
telling me you need to introduce a character in the next one that they can then spin him off, instead of just pulling them out of nowhere? Even though, I mean, the ballerinas or whatever were set up in John Wick, but whatever.
yeah. I think if you really want it to do well, it needs to be almost like I don't want to know. I don't know. It's really hard to pull that off. I'm not saying that it's easy to do, but if you ever want to continue this franchise without Keanu, you need that.
You're telling me that it's hard to recreate lightning in a bottle? Ah, that's weird.
Yeah,
That's weird.
it's possible.
And to be honest, John Wick really is not that profitable of a franchise.
I think
um,
it can be if you
it can be,
dial
but
it
not like a
back.
massive success. Like none of them have been like a massive success. But yeah, I see what you mean. Um, yeah, it's difficult. I mean, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I doubt we'll see another ballerina, but we definitely have not seen the last of John Wick.
All right. Well, I think that wraps up our review. We'll see you guys on the next one. Until then.
This has been the Daniel and Andrew Show.